Niklas I once said that we suggested he could write our philosophy book just on jokes, where no longer there's some physical on jokes. And I think that's true. So I'll start with one joke, but only one. And this is one from Slavoj Žižek, who has a lot of jokes, so I'm sure they can spare one. For me, it's about it's an old Soviet joke about like most of these jokes are, and it's about a painting hanging in the Red Gallery in Moscow called "Lenin in Warsaw." And so the painting actually presents the picture presents Krupskaya and his wife in their Moscow apartment in bed with a young Koksmal guy. And then when the visitors ask, well, where is Lenin? And the guy says, well, Lenin is Moscow in Warsaw. Right, because when Lenin is gone, this is what happens in Moscow. And I think that the component would be, I think we bring it in two ways in version one of the sort of overarching idea on the workshop. So one would be that philosophy is Lenin. So philosophy, traditionally, historically, we suggest, has been like going up to Warsaw and needing what it has left behind with. There's a lot that's happened. That's really the important thing that's going on. Nothing else, probably, you put it behind the very dress with the side. Or you can take it in other way and say that, that philosophy is letting what that philosophy is letting, and then and the picture itself is the kind of pictures that philosophy has tended to present what you would like all the way. And then what it could just be that you can have a picture where anything that happens in the picture is actually noted by something that's excluded from the picture, that's from there, that one showed in the picture. In the sense that what happens between Krupskaya and this Koksmal guy is determined as the scene of adultery or of with their chickeness and relations by Lenin and Kuzma there. So, and in the same sense, we would be suggesting that everything that the philosophers actually say about them, like all they never speak about, but is in fact determined by the lot they don't speak of. Because largely in the sense of the type that Lenin during these days is actually presupposed in, or is, when you even say the medium of you can understand. So whatever they say, however they react, you realize that whatever they understand is in fact determined by even if you then themselves. So you can even consider that in do obviously with that in then. But thirdly, you can take it, at least we will complete the world to the world. Is of course that it's in one way a very traditional idea of a lot better sexuality of the days, which is probably one of the Western, which is, this matter that sexual violence is one that is a thing and then one is something else, and it's a law in the sense of marriage, for instance, that is some kind of just conventional or moral principle that two people should be together and should be faithful, but then the sexuality is something different that comes in like destroys or undermines or conventional arrangements. And maybe we want to suggest that love and sexuality, the relationship it doesn't connect into love and desire is being human of that thing. So anyway, that was the first thing. So then I wanted to say something about Socrates, which of course, like the godfather of philosophy, or the paradigmatic philosophy about. And an interesting thing about him in relation to love was that, as you all know, Socrates' statement was saying that he knows nothing, and that the only distance between him, since the oracle said that no man is wise to Socrates, and then he goes around tasting people to see what people see about him, because he doesn't clear that he is wise. And then he goes to the conclusion that the truth is not wiser than anybody else, except mainly in the sense that he knows that he doesn't know it. Whereas other people that always they didn't think they know, we all tend to think we know things that we don't actually part of, that we have an understanding that we don't, and in fact, as Socrates knows, he doesn't tell. So that would be his kind of wisdom, that he knows he doesn't know. But the reason being more is that the one thing Socrates says that it doesn't know is love. I mean, he says it in what is further, and in other places too. He says there's one thing in the it doesn't know, and that's love. And so that would be, again, Socrates, as he knows, the great idealist. But this is like the supreme example of the irony. That he says he knows nothing of equality. And then but he does know what father, because some of this sense one is the only important thing there is to know in life. So he says he knows nothing and he knows about love. So how should that be understood? And one way that you could understand it is that that these are that he doesn't know, or he's just wanting to know about love. And maybe it's not, first of all, maybe a man knows about love. I mean, it's not about knowledge does. The only way to know about is by loving. This is what it means to know about it, is to love. What does that mean in planning this? There's, of course, many different conceptions of love, but this conception of love now repeats that love is a kind of a constant attempt at striving to reach the othermost. To put it roughly like that. I'm longing for the other person. That's what love is. And the longing for the other person in their truths, and for yourself to be there in your truths, which that. So if that is love, then you could understand why Socrates says he has nothing to teach, nothing in the sense of an object of knowledge. A kind of doctrine, for instance, or anything that you could possess and say, I know this and this and this, and that's why I'm wise. But this kind of love consists solely in your approach to other people you meet, concrete other people, listen plots with the previous things. Then you can say that kind of reason that there's no contradiction between, say, on the one hand, for Socrates to say on the one hand that he knows nothing, because he knows nothing in this doctrinal sense, in this sense of having an object of knowledge. And he is saying, on the other hand, that he knows love. Because that's the only thing he does. If you look at what does Socrates actually do, the only thing he does, and then he's always the approach people, whoever he meets, as he says repeatedly, that it's not just certain kinds of people. Anyone he meets, he will always try to go straight to them and start asking them questions. Why? Because he wants to know who are, the person I mean, who are they, or what do you think about things? So, and think not in a kind of intellectual sense only, but who are you? What is your response to this? So he puts questions to people because he wants to get to know them. That's the knowledge he wants. To be combated with people, he needs. And that repeat, you have this one big conception. This is the only thing life wants. It is to reach out to every contact by the other person. So it has no other desires, but this is its only desire. So you say that this is also philosophy's only desire in the sense that Socrates, and that's why he has nothing in the pride and says to teach, or why he means right, they doubt, there's nothing. When you meet another person, it doesn't make any fucking difference what you thought before. You can start with this person, and whatever he thinks, you already know, all kinds of ways to which you might think, but for instance, superior to them, or can ignore what they say. All that doesn't matter. You have to actually listen, talk to, listen to that one person you are now important with. And this is what Socrates is always doing himself, always also saying that he's not, when people come and telling it that this guy and that guy is very wise or intellectually stupid or whatever, that Socrates is always saying this kind of hearsay about what people have said about somebody. He doesn't care about that. He must meet that person himself and see who is that person. So instead of talking about people, thinking about that from hearsay, from kind of third person perspective, the only way to actually get to know somebody in love sense is, of course, to talk to them. Then directly ask them, what do you think? Nobody else knows that. And that's why they, of course, in this trial, everybody thinks that they know Socrates is not from a doctor, but from having learned from others that he is this kind of guy who is corrupting many, who is teaching this and that. strange Aristoteles. So he always says that kind of thing, that anyone of the boldly doesn't count, and he wants to talk with them and be in contact with them, and then he can say whatever he can say about this person. Okay, so, but only if these were so that this is doing, and of course this is one obvious, not the only possible interpretation, how Socrates at all. But maybe at least it's one of the possible interpretation. And then, given that, I think I would say, and this is a suggestion in this workshop, that what philosophy as a tradition, as a history of philosophy, what that has been is a series of attempts to get away from this idea of one's wisdom or one's knowledge, going along through nothing, other people, and instead, replacing that idea with an idea of philosophy as the lot of wisdom, where you think of wisdom as an object that you can try to possess, that one of those items is a thing, and try to possess into this object of knowledge for wisdom. So then in that kind of, when you change it, I don't know, like that, then it means that from, if you have Socrates, who is one person, what it does to another person, to you, what do you think, you replace that by the Socrates, who wants the knowledge as an object, to possess it, the subject and the subject's point. And always that's always that type of object is possession of it could always be a kind of call and a relationship to the two. Then when you know things, you can know more than other skills, so you can make control and manipulate that. So making a suggestion and that mostly all kindness, that the place lost knowledge weakness over in your approach to the other person. Replace that by the idea of knowledge as an object, that is object, a solitary subject can try to get to a goal. So that this quote, by the way, from Simon Bay, who you would know also about this speech, who says, I think, right, that says that it's not correct to speak of a lot of tools, really, because that is not knowledge. What you can speak of, what exists, really, is the spiritual tool in blood. So not truth as an object, but the truthfulness of someone's approach to us in love. And again, because love would be one understood this way. Love is that what it belongs to somebody, you want to know that their truth, because you want to be with them as they actually, and not as they present themselves to be, or as other beings say they are. And the same for yourself, you don't want to present the facade, you don't want to have the deal that you are something you are not. You want them to see you, that you who you are, actually, but you, your reality, have not idea that you went out of yourself, falling down like that. So that's the spirit of truth in love, that it's all of reality, when the reality not in some abstract sense, but reality in the sense of being really love to human beings. So that will be the spirit of truth in love. Which is, of course, also why love is then maybe not something we always want, something we are very frightened of. And it's one big question, of course, of how can we, because everybody, would say, on some level, everybody knows that love is the only important thing and the best thing that is. That if you think about somebody who would love nobody, would never found love, as we often say, that's a unhappy life, right? If somebody really is not close to any other little being living, that's the worst thing that they have a fight with me, some obvious stuff. So that's his element one slot. That's what you already think they even decide. If anybody who is on a psychoanalyst skull gets there, they go some problems with love, as Freud correctly says, though it's straight and yes about love. But he it's a pure full love and a pure God first psychoanalysis. It's not about things, your relationship to things. It's only about your relationship to other people and the difficulties of that relationship. And then, of course, all kinds of objects, things that, like, invested with that kind of meaning can be difficult at the love, some love and the problems with it. But the objects are looking important. There is human beings, hard, and so, so if you give so it stands right. So the point was just that that love is also, if it's on the one hand the thing we most desire, it's also on the other hand the thing we are most frightened of. And the only thing that really creates top of us is love. And again, and it was, well, why would we be afraid of love? Because sometimes, often we have like very sentimental ideas of what love is. That love is like just you find somebody who is perfect for you and then you think it needs that something like they are exactly like you, or they always say it, you're great, and never criticize you as well, that kind of idea. Or that we go perfectly together, complement each other perfectly. Or all kinds of thinking of ideas, so that look like this, maybe a symbiosis that we use that to kind of tell yourself apart from the other, or all kinds of ideas seem to make turn God into something that's just wonderful and that has no difficulty in it. And that you could, it's just great to get, somebody that might have the idea maybe of what a certain kind of mother's love is imagined to be. That mother is always there for me, and she will always give me all I need, and always protect me from everything bad, and always say I'm great, verse. Whatever I do is fantastic. That's the idea of love. If you have that idea of love, for example, that would be why nobody would be afraid of that. Everybody would. We just love that card. Or so it's what it says. But if love is not like that, though. If love is, if you think instead of love as really evolving truth and truthfulness into you in the most radical sense, then it's maybe not like everybody wants so easily. I mean, you just think about what it would mean to, or what it means then. I mean, you know it from experience, what it means to have somebody, a human being with whom you have no secrets. Somebody who really, knows anything about him, and who they need to, if you try to lie, they will know it's a meat. But you can't, that's how to say that. It's that kind of blessed is something that's it's possible to imagine that you went to a weak price. That you can't, all you doesn't engage with playing normally, maybe, all the heavy kind of self-pity, for instance, every kind of destructiveness that we engage in, and all kind of falsity would be like, please it will not by this other person who sees, in that sense, sees through the world, maybe that's the wrong way of putting it, sees through the world, and keeps you, meaning you, prevents you from going into some kind of fantasy. Maybe that's why it's quite, I mean, it's wonderful in one sense, and in another sense, very, very trite. And then internet was a question, how you can understand why it's like the wish was big is broken. One isn't video, but that's kind of possibility scarce. We make sure better all. So okay. And by the way, with the what was outside and I was just going right to it. One the deep. Then the way they come it. And so, sorry, by the way, I mean, we are not very few, so that makes things easier for you. I mean, if you have a question or objection or whatever comment, this is just hear them. So that's not the proper, it's with them. But okay, so going now from this, and so it's the idea about the relationship between love and Socrates, and that the history of philosophy, that being that Socrates and his was totally interested in love as an actual approach to other human beings. Then the history of philosophy has tended to be an invasion on that idea of love, and instead of transforming love into a love of the object of the mind, of which the thought as someone involved in something like and possess regardless. And then you can say that really that the history of philosophy, if you look at it, it is a kind of history of that a subject-object framing of things. Like for instance, if you just take any aspect of philosophy, but in general, think about how a kind of oscillation or kind of, going back and forth between a kind of subjectivism. I mean, this is more than quantum philosophy, but I think it comes away earlier as well. But the going back and forth between a kind of subjectivism, like idealism would be the big one of that way. You think that it's just, everything is just the subject's world of thought, and there really exists no object. The object is just something that the subject projects as well. Or then you can have its the other extreme of materials, says that clearly there is the subject, there's just an object, which is the world understood quote, the world is collection of objects, which are just material, and the fact that the sees to me a subject was the kind of view that I was saying. I mean, because of the unintelligible, I think that it'll try to extend it that way, but that's, so there's a kind of going back and forth between insisting on the subject about and on the object about it. And then of course all kinds of ways of trying to, compromise between these two or make them go together. So that in general, you can see that kind of movement going on. Or is it that, in ethics, you always tend to have an idea of again, the moral subject, the moral agent. One, not a moral agent, and not by you, but you have just one subject who is then supposed to decide what to do in light of his or the agent's own ideas, principles, values, storms, whatever. Or then you can say that it's the society's norms of values or whatever, but then you have, by the way, only a subject here and not a relation between I and you, as central of the contrary, but all other people from this kind of perspective appear as kind of was like objects that you, in the light of your own ideals or principles, you have to decide how to create the call to arrange them or as though they kind of things. But there's a lot of kind of starting from I view that would be thought together completely determining it's the wrong one, but where you would understand the by only in its relation to you personally and the other. Or political philosophy, you also have the subject who is related as the individual there who is related to society as a kind of member object. And then the question is, what is that relationship? But again, there's not really usually any discussion about individual. It will be individuals, crucial. That's supposed to be always needed in that relation to the Bible with this next. And then you can take it that the individuals, try the nation, as it were, whether they're going at those, all of that. I have something immediate and less social norm that the talk about a fun people knows. Like in Contemporánea, it sooner you go with it, but it is like an age can be, and then apply somehow the string kind of product of this, or at the same level, product of this to anonymous boxes, social norms and that with the nature level, but and also somehow finding somehow superlative. Nothing else is this, but what else? Because the other person is more like God. Essentially, it brings it working. Well, the other person, official, by Freud is very, of course, like all interesting figures. I think Freud is very paradoxical, even at the end, and I think again that this is one of the points I would or suggestions I would want to make is that everything philosophers and psychologists and theoreticians say becomes interesting but and paradoxical precisely because this party relationship, the love, is always there, giving meaning to everything they say, but they at the same time clear that then So that means you can never say that Freud only says this because he can't tell it only. For instance, for Toivakainen should not say that other birth people become interesting for the subject only because, for instance, the parents they can satisfy the subject's drives in the one way. Mother becomes interesting because I could feel from that list, so that's why mother is important and is interested for it. But she thought that, it's interesting only in relation to my climate or even subjective means and desires. So as such, the Ausgleich occurs. I mean, Freud says that on one hand, but then on the other hand, you see from this mixture of all the Oedipus complex processes or the Oedipus constellation, you see that it's not too private satisfactions like the issue of all. It's all about a long triangle between mother, father, and child, where all these kinds of material gratifications, for instance, stealing milk or mint or become interested to and acquire a child because they are set in this love triangle trial, but it's not simply love. It's a trial about ticking clock is like clock, where one wants to be preferred in the other. So I want but only for me and not everyone come in and get anything. So there's a kind of jealous a drama tell us. So that's like, again, it's relationships with people and there is it's about what they are because it's fun and difficult. That's what makes this. They are facts in it, saying Freud's other solutions. Want to give meaning to divide what about the Brian said that. So, in fact, this other description shows that this official idea about just the subject with its, private needs, it's not, he can't make it work. He can't make sense of what the actual Niklas is describing from his sort of subject of intents and the official in our perspective. So, and I think this happens all the time in whatever philosophy of theoretician in Grupo will have these kinds of problems, ambiguities and ambivalences. They'll be spans but instead of looking up the group shadow for each case. Okay. So then I'm wanting to say something about certain very basic experiences, or maybe you would say basic structures of experiences, or really basic aspects of human life, very basic aspects that you can't really make sense of. I think where it's obvious that you can't make sense of them in object terms. And the first would be just this very simple thing that, interestingly enough, I think I haven't found always any philosopher or for the friend that cycling and either who talks about this, which is that the meek are wise. And two people's case is I look you in the eye. This is I think you could say the most basic thing we do with our eyes. Because this is the first thing an infant does, where it's all. It doesn't start looking at, clothes or glasses or objects. It looks into its characters, fits into their eyes. So eyes need this. That's the first thing an infant does. And the only thing it does for all it. But I think before it starts looking at other things and objects. So first, this is a relationship which isn't created only, of course, by the eyes, but also through our action, taking contact with the others, through the moving that in wide. So that happens first, and then you start to use more eyes to find out about the world. Together, there's to be a part of relevance is the thing. So first, there's a lit relationship, which is not such a potent relation. The relationship between human beings. And from within that relationship, we have that, and you can start exploring the world of objects. But a lot of us have, written extensively about eyes, what we do. The vision of truth and so on is the basic method of find out for it. But no philosopher almost, I mean, if you know someone in this kind has talked about this, then a bit of the most basic fact of our mission that you actually do is me. And then, of course, and the point is that this Backström is good in terms of a subject looking at now. I'm not that we've actually when I sleep. Actually, so we are in contact. I mean, I might not know this him and about me or anything about him. I'm not saying in that sense, I mean, about it's not an object I see. We are in contact. It's like more like it's a direct contact between two server, living beings, and that so and then of course it's an experience, but it's unsubjective, obviously, because unless victorious, we derive this me talks. I mean, it's something only I could have this experience, but then I didn't know whether you have, because the whole experience or seeing meeting each other in this when our class did. Yes.
That's really interesting because when you think about people who started copying together, the distinction between knowing things as objects, right, and the knowledge that love involves. And in confrontation between light to gaze and still, there is that you're right, there's no object. What there is there's almost that unity of openness that you can't protect yourself from. It's already explaining somehow why we're afraid of that and not the object. One converts the love relationship into an object but doesn't pregnant.
I think that's right. And it's of course very important because this is what was the basic. But also of the fight that it is. But I don't know if fighting is the right word, but somehow pain and say about. But if you think of how difficult it is to look for very long things on that size. I mean, you can look for a few seconds, but then you have to turn away. And why? But you notice that if there's something is really the most threatening thing somehow there is. But why is it? Because it's not like I think that you're a hawk, dangerous, you're a robot that can be pure, whatever. So what is the problem? But there is this problem actually, and it is that each has to work on whatever simple. You're in a little bit, and somebody up then the way to them because you can't think in the eye. But and all that shows how very aware we are of each other as a process. Of course, a colleague like 3 years and all a very strong response to us. That again, you can't really say what this response is about. It's not because it's very different if you're actually affected about something very concrete, for instance, at the other microbe or whatever, or whatever, and something specific. There's nothing specific about it, and it might seem vague the way, but it's like the most fairest there is. Well, it's just this other presence, and your witness to that, of course. So it's very interesting with this kind of. Or it just shows the enormous charge the awareness that's not related, but to or it can be related with something useful to any relationships to particular office or anything like that. And it has no, in that sense, a specific at least the word more big that is. And in a way, if you're forced to be with somebody where you can't, you see in your conflict with the eye, then this kind of, if you're forced in that, it becomes a kind of red issue, You could, I think if you're flowing up, looked up with somebody in the middle of it, you start killing each other. Or if you start, then becomes love, more, things start happening. That's what, because, and again, I think it's important that we shouldn't think, I think, that what we are afraid of here is only that things will go bad next, there's something negative happen. But also that something positive happen. That is that the love that is somehow already there between, because that's what gives this charge that things will start happening and involving it. That, I mean, who knows where in the nothing could look suffering, plot nothing in the eye. But that it's still one to like an idiot where the boom the eye. Bad things might also happen, but also okay. And again, I think it's good to think about just what it is to have somebody, not because we often, I think, pretend that our goal fear one is that love that I would love, but maybe maybe the other will not read the same with me, you know. So that's why I tell somebody I love you, because what if they say, well, they don't love me? And that is a fair, so that's why I don't say it. So I'm just afraid of the change, and I think you can quite easily, I think, say that can't be the lowest American is. Because first of all, I mean, if you really love somebody long, they're like, what's the fucking point in not telling that? Because then you have rejection already. I mean, then it's certain that love was live out. I mean, that's what you want. Then of course you must add, you know, build, I love you, then you see that's. But the thing is, when they progress, and just because of afraid of rejection, so that will be that rejection is more important to you, not being rejected is more important to you than love. So then they will really about there. So it not be just this rejection. And again, I think you can see that because coming writing to a very seen by somebody who sees you, you know, better that you want to see yourself in a way, who can tell you what when you're lying to yourself, when you're lying to others, like when to lie to them. And who can really, you know, somebody who really, not that somebody misunderstands you, but somebody who really understands you, again, better than you would want to be honest to yourself, that you don't dare understand and see yourself as clearly as a thing. So that picture, in some sense, I couldn't just frightened. But the main thing there's always is that you can't really explain, I think, ultimately why this, the good thing part, being actually understood and being in contact with, reaching out to, touching another human being, why it is that frightening? Because everything you say, I mean, we know it's right in some sense, but everything you say about it, why it be, in order to try to explain why it would be frightening, it's always already spoken from within this perspective of fear. It's about rejection of that, because if you forget to love wholeheartedly, then they start to fight about that. Then, or at least, let's say, then all you have to do is start to preach each other and not out this, you know, you do whatever it takes. And then, of course, the other bike still reject you, but you will still try and go on trying to reach them. So it seems that what you stand to lose by trying to reach to the new one, or whatever, if it seems that what you stand to lose is more important then this importance must come from some other place than from love itself. So you can't really, you have already as to reject it, and then from within that perspective, of course, you can say all kinds of things to explain why love is bad. For instance, that if you just, if your main interest is, and I think nobody's main interest is really what you can try to lead as your main interest was to be in, let's say, social success and approval, and or make a career or have power about people, then of course it's true that you should absolutely reject love in any kind of form, because love will let you win some of the thing. You know, if you love somebody, it means you can't, for instance, or it means you can't do services that you don't want to exercise power. So the thing is, love will always seem to power, a possibility to support. So if you go reading the book about power, to make that book for you, then you need such love when you have to work that's like good say, or not to be important. Because if you love somebody, you will become bold of them, because you will be, care about what happens to them. If you want to exercise power, and good care about anything, except get less power as possible. So again, from power's perspective, the perspective all power, getting the will to power, from that perspective, you can see all kinds of problems with blood as well. But the old question is, why do you go in for power in the first place? And that can be explained from within power as the perspective of power itself. But it can also not be explained from within lots, as well from the perspective of whole and love, because from that perspective, love is not only is it not important, love is like the worst, power is the worst thing there is from what's the most. Because love makes it about non-wanting force, anything from the other or for self in the direction. It's just about creating of it and actually we in free over contact. That's what I would say that love is. So from that perspective, power only gets in the way. It's always inappropriate if one part or the other wants to try to use power in it to manipulate the other, or to push things in a certain way, in a certain direction. So from Locke's perspective, also it's incomprehensible why anything going for power minutes. And from the perspective of power, it's still something a problem. But the decision between one or the other is, I think, there's no perspective from which you can explain as that choice. And it's forget that's done the choice. Never that I would say, if this is never and can never be a choice like lucidly and consciously made, that you would say, well, here I am, all I can get I will not which one will I choose? Like that, well, I take that because I well, the one you're offering also. I mean, it's not that a choice obvious. It's always in the ring, I would say, for something else than like, for instance, for power, like in different guises, for any other discarding this. It is a choice to a certain sense because nobody forces you. There's still no such thing, I would say. I mean, we can discuss all these things. I didn't say it would be wrong, I mean, but I would think that there's such thing as being forced thought. What is the big force to abandon? There's no such thing. If you abandon somebody, but this you betray one in abandoning that. You abandon a friend, say, because you want to be with the cooler people, or whatever, because you want that. It's not, nobody can force to choose abandon your friends. It is your choice, but of course that kind of choices that are made. You will east describe the choice of many, but you pretend because that it isn't the choice, that you had no choice, they had to do it because blah, blah, blah. But it's so true that you're like. But when you made the choice, you must try to represent the choice to yourself. You must try to pretend that in something else better than it is. So that other choice is, I would say, always made in a kind of, with a sense of desperation. Yeah, and it's not the free choice, or the petition choice. So it's unforced, but what you give up is in a way of freedom. Then, I mean, that's in one way then or putting it. I mean, so a bit, always when we do terrible things, when we look things that go against law, like, betraying somebody, or destroying our lives. I mean, do somebody does suddenly doing drugs, or breaking themselves to death, or wording themselves to death, or whatever, as we do a lot of time. Then, of course, we always explain the way it's a way that it's not happening, or a way that we have no choice, or that it's not so bad, or that you can't help ourselves. And then smoking and still take out the cigarettes at the bar, even where people know that then they'll kill themselves by smoking. So that's kind of a addictive behavior. Is I think like the falling or difficult that we somehow feel that one is impossible, but it's not possible for us because something else is more involved. But this feeling itself is a misrepresentation. That's how we, events that formed here of our days. And this, because obviously it's not true of the cigarette. The cigarettes are not well at all. If you want to stop smoking, there's a call. It's what stop. With some people can sometimes wake up that having tried to stop smoking for, I don't know, 10 years. And then at some point they really realize that they don't want to die. And then they stop. No problem, because the realization's there. And you could say there that that realization is a kind of a belief of or you really go in the form, for what is for loving yourself, because loving yourself is not like a wall, that's not like now, and this. Loving others means loving yourself, because when you love somebody else, what you do is you open up to them the love that means that you open yourself up to love too. So it's not that you could, I hate myself, but I love somebody else so much. I mean, we'll often say that, but it's bullshit. I mean, it's got, if I hate myself, it means that what I call love for the other is something different, some kind of, maybe I want to make amends because I'm such a bad person, I think, and I will feel that shame. And then I very rude towards other, but you behave, but
So sorry, we got lost. It is fluid. Thank you so much.
So if I have to think about if I hate myself, I say I hate myself, I'm just a piece of shit, but I want to love somebody else animal. Well, if other musicians means I can't be married with other person, I claim love that they will want, it is to do with me. In a way, so I will try to make, sacrifice the sport and I make things good for them. But I was almost like myself away from this equation because I'm this hard a piece of shit that I really want because that's what it means to really think of itself, feel that you are a piece of shit. It's a, no Dutch will, and we've done it, so you can't really, you must in a way keep away from them. Either that is you then learn to love, like what does that mean? Because if the other person loves me, they think I'm a piece of shit. They want to be close to me, that's what love means. So if I say buy with this shit, but I do you, what it in fact means is that I withdraw from you. I withdraw from love, but that I can't do it. And I think this kind of dynamics is very, has been very dominant in a certain kind of Christian and then the father the Jewish, but so much not certainly the Christians yet, but pure the sacrificial, self-sacrificial love. That's the whole idea that at peace that black life, and you find this in the theologians of both ages, that they'll say precisely that we should legalize it. You have pieces of shit. Then it's not so much the Catholics, not so much because they always make compromise, but the brothers like good. I mean, it's very explicit. What is that? Huge beings a piece of shit. Always. That's spoken out. But God, in his fantastic goodness, still loves, although we are pieces of shit. And then we should try, should try to love each other in the same way that God loves us. That is, what does that mean? Well, it means see, work yourself, and actually the other person we claim to love as a piece of shit, but still, you love them. So we must think that this is the only way love can be pure. Because if there's anything good about it makes me feel good that I'm close to you, who are about. Then it's somehow, it was sent, and I get something out, and then it's not pure. Pure, well, was being that I get nothing out. And how can I prevent? How can I be prevented from getting any out of it? Well, when you that it's shit, then obviously it's not, when I think it is just. And if we have myself the same way, it's not that none of this is nice. So, and what but we live in us has precisely this idea in a very radical way. But what love is, and he doesn't even want to borrow capital if it's supposed to live, but some nuts. But what is precisely this that in a certain sense, is it rather would buy I will anything for you. I will give you the bread out of my arms and the jacket from by the shorts, well the don't wear skin inside out to like we do whatever I follow them. This is like the most thing for self-sacrifice. But at the same time, the other was in fact also can present it as a piece of shit because it cannot fit. If they let anything else, the things it would rebound, said and said concern. It will give something good for me, and then it's not really else. The real outcome is purely self-sacrifice. So what just be that this idea of thinking that you can separate out what another from what yourself is a misunderstanding. It's a loveless way of looking at it. And it's very sad in I mean, this is kind of I think about you could I think basically walk the whole history of what philosophers and theologians have said about lying on this kind of spectrum. When you first start from the loveless idea of might it be different from Lord, we start from that idea. So, at least I mean, but for you, but they're not good for you, but maybe they're not good for me, and vice versa. I did something out to spot, but I don't know something we can't, and you will nothing of it. So there's always the idea is that our groups are separate. By them, there's something that people would, you're separate people. So they are separate, they are not the same. And then you can have different ideas called what is called plan. Yeah, I think they are misunderstandings of love. But one idea would be that, this would be based here to caricature a bit. The eros subjection of love would be that, in fact, in love, what I find in the other kind of the final conception of the one in great philosophers here. The other conception is that you have something good that I didn't get from you way and so on. And this, so why play find my youth in you that there's something really interesting in some way where you are, I don't know, attracted to me in some way, or you answer to a need that I had. So everything goes back to my wood, and you are an instrument function against the good life. And then you get a different, of course, variations of that, a lot of spiritual moves, versions of betting, even of God and versions. So whatever, it doesn't matter. The logic here is that my will is the only important thing to love somebody means to fight perhaps one's own word even there as if no problem get it from. So that would be, I mean, this is very rough, but that would be the absolute conception. And it almost be with a pure conception, which is precisely the Christian idea of pure, where you just simply, you start from the same, I would say. You start from the same loveless conception of your mind being separate. And then you say, well, let me stop taking the good for me, it's eating what good to you. So that means self-likewise. I should get nothing out of it, and you should get everything out. So the purest form of William's images. Being anonymous do good, I say. I never dare think of the time effect one is, fight me lawyers at Hermes, I don't know. That kind of thing. So that's leading to it when he doesn't even know it exists. And again, this is a slightly different from this thing that was said of oneself as a piece of shit, but let us very comfortable about that kind of idea of love. Is that then I remain anonymous, so I never have to face it. I mean, maybe he doesn't give, but maybe please stop if some guys just, take on the responsibilities, but without that thing, because suppose there is enough the planet in someone's help or to be in some other way to hide behind this type of, anonymous throw of the benefactor. Understand nobody, I'm here to provide. So that leads to high about this, but I don't make myself really dominating. So I let me say like you. And that's the way like I said, that's not love. That's benefaction, but it's not love. At least in the strongest sense of the real sense of that word. Because love would be precisely that you want to be known to it. You want to be loved and touched together. You want to be there, see that, completely masked and to yourself show it. So in so far as that is applied to the prospect, then this kind of benefactor, benevolence idea of love, it is very convenient because it's much easier. It's, all the people can find what is actually to spend the whole lives just sacrificing for others. And then you can also, because then you can hide it and show yourself, and then you can see I'm paid for, I'm the only person, only this person here, who's always doing everything more on others. So you got, as letter, they can show all kinds of secret rewards, that kind of thing. But it's online. So then the other conception is, it's my will that designs the other conception. When it happens to speak, is that all the which should go to the other. Then about a third conception in the history of thinking about love, at least Western, would be the filial conception, the friendship conception, where you think instead that it's not my will or your will really, is that we share a foreign interest in pick something or a comment by ear that will come strive. I mean, this is how Plato and Aristotle describe it, French and with French. Then there's something, you get the in a very trivial sense. We both like football, so that together with why we are friends. And I mean, a lot of people speak in that kind of very superficial way about French. Well, it's a nice time because we also watch football together. As though the football is a really interesting thing, and then the other person is not interested in that any other way than because he is also interested in football, just aside. And of course, Plato and Aristotle speak about much higher, because there's you follow the same God as Evento says about French, that there's something higher spiritual aspirations, but the mind is all the same when it's developed by our spiritual aspirations. It's again the logic that forms that you think that another person is not really interested in themselves. Do you want because to share this said interest? And the Nietzsche's process, I think, quite well as style friendship, where he says that, okay, that you are not real, people are created here, and he's not criticizing the existence. Like, people are not really, connected to each other. It's just that two stars or two planets can be seen to be going, or can be going in the same direction, but then, they see to be together, but then it applies in the transgender text to somewhere else, and we can go in completely different directions, maybe. And then because our interests, our own interests change, it's okay. And so in this sense, I think that the free section is really very close in Erst's section, because here too, that my idea it is of interest because that for me, my good, I see it just depending on this idea. And then the global views think the same way about the other book, and we may imagine then. But again, what all these three different conceptions share is the idea that we already start from the idea that your good and mine are somehow different. Whereas I would say that in love, the whole point called love, or the point, the one is that the good is not live, and you can't differentiate. Like, I mean, if you think of a very simple example, we're loving you praise, and we do embrace something. So what's my view and what's Niklas into public child? I mean, is it possible for me to, if I'm really smart, I'd think to have argument, but I don't come back because then I get more than I give. I mean, obviously it doesn't work like that. It's not possible to create. It's only we are both in that grace. That is, if we both want to, be there together, that the amazing happens. So there's no separation of these with that line. And I think this is the same as the meeting the lights. It's not that, like if I look away and just get halfway, should that be the thing for it? So I think this logic is there for all, for the word beginning in the Grupo is that the good causes it to be meet in each other's presence and be open where touching each other, touch this from both touch at the same time, so it's not they can't separate out what's what you it's about. The good is the community, and if you want to say all about the God that God heard the still where the scripting that between the
I know there's something very different about it, grace and gaze, right? Because the gaze is something you can't pretend. And that's, I guess, what makes it so vivid. You can't pretend to, have a loving gaze like 8 notes. You can't, it will show. Whereas you think pretend to embrace, you can have him just as hard, you can almost see his images of, hiding him, having the space of grimace and not being there. We can't do that with the gaze, so it's just great firmness. And out of there.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, you're blind there, right? But I'm not sure about it because but there's always an interesting question about insofar as we can pretend. And in what does it depend, what was in remark of the other if they fault of the best? Because obviously, like, let's say, if I'm a bad person, I will, whatever people say, to flatter the I don't think it is completely true, because I will be completely uncritical. Oh, the lecture was so fantastic, they told me it was great. And whereas if I wasn't so very I got seen, but nobody was really just, but so the attitude to others will of course fall. So your attitude to others can add by attitude. I think this vanity, for instance, is one way of it, closing yourself to love, ways of going into a background, such as the movie. And then the way we start to miss is like that. So when you go into that kind of a great fantasy, then it means that mold, so that you won't feel it, even if the others in bed, what is this, isn't real, whatever. You will want to follow the formula sections, but and then you can have two people arguing or talking to each other or whatever, and it both are say going across a line of a conversation, and they have not said anything to each other really of any importance. And somebody who would be interested in actually getting to know either person will see it and get it immediate. But these two people, because they are said Bain or Indians or whatever they are, or they want to pretend that everything is fantastic fine. Like you have a happy family, that's completely unhappy, but everybody wants to pretend that it's happy. So nobody sees any problem with terribles instead of all time. So I think that, so I'm not sure that this, or I think that it's not an individual illustration, at least, of what by the deception will work, because, again, if you really look up somebody, you can hear it, that's, being not pleased all in it. Because, of course, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be this kind of injection, but the kind of feedback you feel that if you want to feel MC. It's not, the whole idea that you could, because only when you have a kind of, already a kind of distanced relationship and kind of conventionality versus, of course, if you have a conventional science, that you can also need and sort of pretend. Because just like I love you, and if one from the the right points, they won't see you whether they mean it. But already in saying it, the other person will hear the Jeremiah's own saying if they want to hear it. Okay. So I think apart then say that we can pretend for a little while, not let's say that you are then living with somebody for 10 years. Can you pretend for 10 years? Let's say, that happens all the time, of course. Many marriages are like that. There are two people who have just been pretending for 10 years. And nobody really, the one doesn't know what the other is feeling. It's assessed. In another sense, I would say they both know. And they know that they have been pretending. But as part of the pretense, you pretend. But so, I don't think this kind of idea that we don't know. I would say generously that when we don't know what the other is feeling or thinking, it can mean two things. Getting, for instance, somebody asks you, well, what do you think about this? And then he refuses to tell. Of course, then I won't know if I'm very straightforward. But he did better, and then I don't know how to take it. I don't know what Victor meant. I don't know if he was sincere about. If I don't know, even I say it's at least it's the connecting to what my own, whether I really wish to know, whether I really long to know what to say. For when it's a deep, there's something on here to tell yourself. Well, I thought this or that, but then I don't quite understand it. Then if I really want. No, you can't know what you say, understand what you say. I would ask, but well, we mean like this or like that. Whereas a lot of the time, of course, we don't ask because we are polite in different ways. And politeness, by the way, is kind of be the phrase that was something like, well, it's only so that things. But if you really love somebody, you don't want to be polite. It's deliberate. The other is polite precisely because it's a way of taking the distance. So if we are polite, then I just ask, well, what do you think? And it is just something. And then I don't understand, but I don't want to, pry into what he's saying. So then I just go, not really understanding. So we create this kind of lack of understanding between ourselves. Because we are very hard, endless, or full of pity or self-pity or whatever, that's destructive attitudes that make us don't really want to. No, yeah, but I think it's so idea that you at least in your idea something I will know. If I want to know you, I know just that's and maybe not what you are like. But I think you and again an interesting thing about what it is that often it's said about love, of course, that love makes you blind. That is a very standard idea. So somebody who loves, they never see the person at all. And I think this is true for infatuation, for falling of a certain kind. Because falling in love, I think, is a very complex thing, and has something to do with actual love, but it's all more than that. There's also much to do with but fantasy about. You imagine the fantastic kind of person you would be if you were together with this person for falling along. And it's about a fantasy game. It has very little to do with the other person or with you, actually. And it's fantasy. So that kind of course, fantasy does make you blind to the other. And that, which means, for instance, anything can be fantastic, but suddenly it just ends. And you can't understand why did it end. I mean, so obviously there has not to be real London, maybe. Or you even feel wish for something in the people. I mean, that has to be loneliness and God. So that's about a fantasy game, and that makes you well. But love is such, again, I think, similar ways, right? There's some spirit of truth, love that you really, the God is that wish of only for actually really comment on the other, which means that it's the only thing that makes you see the other. And whereas, I mean, if you, this kind of, let's say, cynical people, we think lovers that they are, you have to be cynical because people are pieces of shit and they will have to take advantage of you. So you have to be very cynical and always see that no man, that I can't be justifying that way out and so on. That kind of people, first of all, they are always in fact taking advantage of. But still, it is inspired by history to all. In that kind of cynicity, and of course, the one thing that says like cynical attitudes means that you cannot see because you will not allow yourself to see. Is there anything good of the other? You can never see, you will not allow yourself to see the love that is actually there to be seen in people. When people act actually, in a loving way towards, when they are actually trusting. If I hear you speak up and you smile open to me, I will think you have the blood. So I want to allow myself to see the goodness, the love that is actually, and the fairness that is actually. I would always see, well, maybe it's just not a flourishing, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe more, she's the leader from the call, or it's just a game, she's wanting some advantage from me or whatever. So, I mean, obviously, when you're sitting up, you are deciding not to see anything good. So that makes it blind. That's like the worst blind blindness there is. So because you pride yourself on what's really good and beautiful in life by your own decision. Because it's the same idea of fear of the change. It's better to decide to be that everybody's an asshole because then it brought up so much when you went out there an asshole. But again, that needs of course that you turn yourself into an asshole and destroy anything go wrong, because that's what. But when we do it at that thing. In fact, all the time. By the way, we can get asked about objects that whether they retain market. So one thing I think important thing here is that and this whole what philosophers and other theorists have said about that, or the way they have not spoken about it, but spoken about the things instead. But I don't think that's it's on the basis of like a theoretical event, or just that it's people have had for some unexplained reason just bad theories about that, or have been mistaken about that. It's, I think, rather the case that what the philosophical theories about and this whole subject-object perspective, the relationship related to high theory line with subject-object perspective, or a phrase of the concept, framing of things, that mirrors the difficulties we have in real life. I mean, it's an echo in theory of the kind of difficulties we actually experience in learning and being with each other. Again, the kind of difficulties that you see already is enormous difficulty of just living someone in behind. So we have huge difficulties, and the way we do, they take the pole in a way of subjective and objective. When we close each other, to withdraw each other, to obey each other's gaze and touch, and withdraw from each other, close ourselves up to each other, which always means closing oneself up to responses in oneself, to when we do that, it has to do with subject on the structure. I mean, it doesn't get, you could take maybe English so, as a little example. I think more or less the same kind of thing you would exemplify the leaders that by taking any kind of destructive attitude. Because we are destructive and destructiveness, I think what it is the refusal and the repression of in different ways. That's what always telling forward and instructing this instead, basically. And by the way, before I say anything more about can be that is there that in all this, I think we have to make things, clear, to distinguish with lovely two senses that are not in conflict, but just two senses of it. And where one sense is, love is something that's always already there between human beings, which is like the very what makes anything intelligible goes at all. The love that consists in caring for each other, being addressed by each other's presence. Like as comes out in meetings, by so you try to evaluate us that we are somehow we feel totally addressed by you, and there's something you are about to address. And you can't just turn it off. It would be very convenient if you could just turn it off so that other people will manage it. Then you will be at peace as well. But that's impossible to do. There's no such thing as the love other people's address. And it's by our late presence we address each other. Whatever, sometimes what we say about how we action turn to another, but before then, just by our presence. I mean, if you think about just an infant, the infant is born and cries out, that time that the cry is not, of course, like something that he addresses to anybody in particular. It's not like, I'm here, help me, please. It just cries out, but it's the addresses and that cry is staying by us, the people who are need to take care of it. Is stated by us as addressed class, so that they can price and they tell them number to look with or whatever it hits. So it hasn't decided the infant, the child hasn't decided to address us, and we haven't decided to be addressed by it. It's just a fact, and the basic fact of him like that we are addressed by them, but by each children we address in this very basic sense that you are not indifferent to what happens to the art. Not because before any decisions are taken, that is simply there, and nothing can be done about in one sense. So in this basic sense, the address is always there, and it's not of course an intellectual thing. It's something that experience with your own being, and our whole perception on each other is spawned by this about an address. I mean, just take a simple example, a smile. What does it mean to see a smile? Well, basically, it doesn't mean to see just face glowing a contortional movement. It means that when somebody spots it, you smile back. I mean, this is their smile, as it were, resulting in best. This is what it means to see the spot, to see it as a smile, as both of us see it. That's something we doesn't mean here. To perceive a smile is to respond by smiling back. Basically, by being warned by another person's smile, but it's by the other person's presence. The friend say, they're happy to see you and we're happy to see them. And in English, it means to see a smile as a smile. Well, so the English says, and of course, when you see him first, it's not that you can be warned by someone smile and then immediately proceed, people know the head is. So it in this sense, this is a form of love. In the sense, it's not that because this is something important. But most of the love is not reduced to anything, but it's not that when I see somebody smile, it's not that I see that they are articulate one of the person or somebody blah blah. It's so that so like when you judge, it's not about the blah. I'm not good to maybe the judge, but it's the initial. Just your wall as business, and this is what happens, and you got you can't do anything about. But so in that one sense, love is always there, and it's the basic. If that wasn't there, nothing else would be. And it would mean that human beings met enough with each other. It would mean that we couldn't teach. We had no reason, but we couldn't teach each other that it works. If we didn't give a shit about our children, and then give a shit about us to the state, they were really teaching already. You become not. So this is anything is built upon love. This care and that concern. And being addressing and being arrested. But so what else would you know that? And I think empathy is kind of an lead word for it. I mean, but of course, it's not that I will do mark words, but I wonder why would they want to go? Then rather, what's wrong with love here as clear? Because love has empathy seems very, in a certain sense, to my enemies, very like technical and maybe colorless for those that stay alive. Whereas love is like open up in all the different directions, which is very important. This fact both does open up in all the directions and share the life that progress. And also the feminine, it's interesting how people often get don't want to, especially because but others do, that don't want to say that this is love. So even call whatever as pain care in men rather than long bowing. So I think this is the same kind of difficulty as the difficulty of meeting someone's eyes. And it feels somehow embarrassing and frightening and uncomfortable, whereas empathy, nobody has trouble pretending they just eyes. Because it doesn't sound like it. It doesn't involve these kinds of associations. I'm not saying that you couldn't of course suicide in different ways at time. I would just then look at one thing that's made it and talking about that. Because it seems to me that you're trying this person about is an openness to things. Yeah, they're right. An openness to things that is not really directly to an intimate state. It really sort of refers to you are not having a aversion about or some share. You are effectively sensitive to what's going on. You're positively relating to things. But that's seemingly more general, but you respect precise than love when you choose or you recognize main intimacy of it. You are to the good and misleading side. When we're talking about relating to another person as a visual object, because that can be, I think, also to a situation, not necessarily a person, right? And so there's something specific about the person that would not necessarily, that is more specific than that what you're describing, just being open to the smile of the other person, being open to the beauty of nature. I mean, that's for your empathic innate on your feeding and what's going on. There's a connection there. But it seems to me that that's more accurate to say that what's happening there is empathic rather than love. I don't know, but maybe there's a resistance there that I'm not quite understanding. I'm afraid of nothing that I've done. No, I think it's touching because I think that we all have this problem. So, and one important aspect of science is called when we call thinking about this way is precisely to see where that love action, that fear comes in, and how it might start. One to think about that might be allow us to do what handwork allow us as living as possible, and so on, and which words would use and all that. So, but we should be not. I don't think we should be like suspicious, because I go suspicious as it's just part of the really so, but just be. Try to be attentive to what might move us to not want to fear that, for instance. But then again, and of course, trying to distinguish now between two different senses. All love, maybe it would be better to not call the other love, but I'm not so sure because, first of all, I think it's concrete in general. I mean, it's because it's. I think this when somebody's answered me and I object by coming back, it's not. Get it, or it's very personal. Even even though I've never seen you before, I have no idea what. And that says it's not personal. If you fight yourself, you mean something like we have a Shen history, I know many things about you, blah, blah. But that's one way of talking about us. But I think it's not the most important way because it's very immersive in the sense that you know, when you see somebody's eyesight, you smile at that. There is a particular information to a particular other human being, which they experience that's the thought that something terrible will happen to that, or you need to see that something bad is happening to that, makes you feel very personal, you know, affected. It's not a general.
Very it's interesting that, for instance, in ordinary life, right, in Spanish words, if someone smiles at you, it happens a lot here, I'm saying. So you smile so much, a strong feeling or at you, and you say "candy papi," which has no, right? Not easy, not loving, yeah. And well, see that.
Your comment is the leaders and my peers, but being and
So she says that we have this thing. She do empathy, sympathy, and love.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't people make a distinction in but first of all, I think, well, there's no like accepted norm or standard usage with you, or this is simply or sometimes people mean by sympathy and others they were and so on. And you regard I'm very many in this compared a way of trying to see why it applies perhaps to better not doing that distinction. Or let's say that it has certain dangers or makes difficult to see certain things. Did you think about let's say, what is it to see, not to smile or to see pain in somebody, to see that somebody is in the bed. And I was in air to know that it's not a neutral person, first of all. It's not that you first see that somebody is in pain, and then the question on the respond to it will be, rather some more art. So first you just go to see if, well, she's in pain, and otherwise, should I, care about it or not, would be less hard. So it's not like that. It's to see pain as pain. Again, as opposed to saying just that somebody's, spirit purpose. It is to care about that pain, to be compassionate, to see that instead of, like what is to say somebody, the instance with honor, then the Winston, that was the bird. So you're like, in that sense, you say you're identified with, but at the point that kind of the longer that I've said them, like you're open, and you to perceive is to be moved.
And you would like to call that love.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, because at least as I understand the way it's oblique, that one that use this kind of distinction between empathy and sympathy is that you said, well, empathy is just that you see, that you can see that there is pain. And in sympathy, it's easy to react to that pain by actually wanting to, cause or help them or insta pain. Because then if you don't, then in just an it will come sympathy. And that's it, maybe a missing way of putting it, because first of all, so it was clear that we can, that we precisely can see pain and not thought to, ease it or alleviate it or anything. We can want to force pain. It's quite possible. I mean, this is what the sadist does, somebody who wants to cause pain in the other. So that's quite also true, but I would say that it's hard that this person only has then have a select sympathies that you got, that anything or anyone want really want to cause pain, not out them like instrumental reasons, but because they didn't want to see the pain in the other. This is like really complicated, uncareable, because otherwise when you care about this pain is caused. If you see these dedicated satisfaction, only because you have this compassionate response to others, that you realize how terrible it is, because you care about the other person's pain. That's why you don't want to cause. So it's like, so this, I don't think that these are three things. It's just that we can, and then this when they want to idea about two different senses of life. If the past is just this, that we can't do anything about, that we are just, in fact, we do care about others. We feel compassion when we see that pain, and to see the pain, you see the compassion. I think that's what we don't see it. So we respond in this way. We can't do it in the mouth, but what we can do things up is, of course, how we then respond to our own response, and we often do devil things in each other. For instance, want to cause pain, rather than try to alleviate the pain. So then it's something And the other sense of what then would be how you respond to that first one in the first sense of your initial response of seeing and feeling compassion about the other person's faith. Then you can respond to, for instance, by what it caused. And that's, of course, in the second sense, that's how the loving response always. That's a destructive response. But what happens, whereas if you love, if you respond lovingly to this, well, in the first sense, then you, for instance, want to try to ease that and stop it. So you absolutely don't want to boast by going to make the other person feel pain. But so then the questions obviously can be described what happens when you respond in this destructive way to your own heart, because that's what I'm saying. It's going on that the person who is like there's somebody that puts them in pain is also the way turning against themselves and causing themselves pain. I mean, you can think, in a certain sense, it feels great to be when you take emotions that way, you can just love. Go over and suffering it too, just to say this person's some kind of elation or some type of excitement in it. But it doesn't feel simply work. But it's because what you're doing at the same time, we see like stabbing yourself in the heart, in the same time as you're stabbing the other. And that's what's, it's paradoxical, but that's what feels great. Because if you wouldn't feel it about, and one isn't to feel about, because it feels great to be so mean, it's so evil towards yourself. And that's poetry. At the same time, it does come to yourself. So when you're making yourself suffer too. So it's about a sense and masochism. In this sense, I think always two sides of the same coin. The sadist is causing himself suffering, but enjoys because of that. And again, it's paradoxical, but I think that's what happens. So it's not that. And then one problem with distinction, I think empathy and sympathy is as though empathy would be quite neutral with regard to what happens there. The first thing is one thing can definitely be empathy, but I just realized that this guy is bad. And then it's quite a question whether I then react to that bad by me giving some more or trying in our area. And I think these are not on the same level. When you go to try to handle the organism back, to try to ease the pain, what you do then is you, as it were, allow the bond that's already there to flow on you in sexual directions. You're going to prevent the lot that you see about this person to influence your better. Whereas you should still keep them, or you walk away because you're afraid or whatever, then you have to go against the lot in yourself. And that's why I used to take that example, not going to the kicking the guy, but leading with them because you're afraid. That really places in you either for the better conscience, right? You walk away, and then you, of course, try to explain next way. It's like the third saying, I said, well, I wouldn't help him because it wasn't so bad, or it was somebody who would have made to kill me, it was too dangerous, blah, blah, blah. But that's the explanation. And try to explain away what he actually did and why did it. Precisely because you have a conscience, which obviously conscience is seeking another needs the law. So when you go against that law, when you try to, desert it, it will feel bad in you, in yourself too, because it feels bad and against this law. But it's wrong that it is impossible to do. It's quite possible to do it all the time, but it doesn't feel good. And even when it feels seeing it, like this kind of exciting toleration, doesn't feel good at all in the same sense as just you to see your friend and arguing them peacefully. That feels like sinking, but nothing, all the destructiveness we engage in, never feels sinking. It also always feels, even if it's a little bit it feels, it's always playing in this kind of terror or going against the whole abandoning God, abandoning love, kind of messed about, so it's always and then be very, only a lot of the code art. It's a many good, I think. It's this an helpful lot. This code art to your own life. Whereas when you kill somebody, or if you deliver things to me, your own life cannot be. But in a way, not the art, not in a blood or your heart, something else. but you'll always divide it when you use up. No, the sub dead one. And again,